Works this time. I'll turn my volume off here. Just say hi as you walk in. I'm just going in to my computer here. I actually must have just destroyed my webcam. I know I knocked it a few times onto the floor. So I'm thinking probably I broke it. So I was trying to go live and it just wasn't working out. So it's been a while since I used my phone, and yeah, I'm kind of pleased with how the phone works. Actually, we'll see how it is on the data. Say hi as you come in. Sorry it's so late tonight. I am just finding my channel here so that I can see the comments. I can watch it on the screen of my phone here if I wanted to, but I'd much rather, watch it on my channel here. So what's new and exciting this week? Actually, it's been 2 weeks. I didn't go live last weekend day. Yeah, I was real fuzzy brained, and yeah, I had to help my sister out last weekend. We have a couple of really old pets that are having a rough time, right? And yeah, my sisters are having a rough time actually letting go, right? So yeah, we're just all keeping company. There we go. Yeah, so I'll be able to see the comments as they come in. Yeah, so I don't know how many people we'll get tonight because we're actually a little bit late. I usually go on at 7 or 7:30. It's actually 8 o'clock now, but again, my webcam, it's just not my week. Got my bike stolen this week. I was out on a bike ride and I went in for a cup of coffee, and yeah, I should have known, because when I went in to get my cup of coffee, there were bike locks that were actually snipped, so I knew that people were stealing bikes there. But I was just running in for a cup of coffee, and I guess I came in and I directly sat at the table and I was enjoying my coffee and everything. Yep, right underneath my nose. I wasn't even 20 feet away. The worst part of that is I have a basket. It's a mountain bike, a really nice mountain bike, and I put a basket on it. And I was really enjoying the basket because it would hold my camera, and when I was doing my Instagram posts, I was actually riding my bike and doing posts as I was riding the bike. And yeah, I'd leave my purse in there, and quite often I was bike riding late into the evening, right? So I'd have a sweater or a jacket in the basket. And yeah, this time I had my camera bag, and I had my tripods and my, like the mini tripods and the gorillas and my batteries. My camcorder was in there, my clips to hold my phone on my monopod. Yeah, I had 2 of them. I needed those too. My microphone and my old camera, even though I wasn't, my old phone, even though I wasn't using it as a phone, I was using it as a camera because it took such great, it was a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, and it just took great footage. And I just thought, oh, that's great, charge it up, and then I have an extra, full phone that I can fill up with footage and stuff when I go do videos. And yeah, that got stolen too. And what can you do though? I wasn't going to make myself miserable, but now I'm thinking about it and I'm making myself a little bit miserable over it. Not really. These things happen, and that's the least of my concerns is that bike. And on top of that, actually, it was my sister's birthday, and I told them that I lost my bike, and then one of my sisters says, she says, Tracy, one of my other sisters, is storing my bike. I bought a brand new bike. I haven't used it, Go ahead and use the bike, I'm not using it. I don't even like exercising. Oh, perfect. So I was all happy because I got the bike, right? Say hi as you come in. I'm just going to switch my chat on so I can see them all too, to see who's coming in. Yeah, say hi as you come in. Yeah, so anyway, so I was really happy I got a bike, and then I went to my sister's yesterday and picked up the bike, and it was all rusted out because it was behind the shed for a couple of years. And so I took the WD-40 and I cleaned it and I oiled it, and yeah, it was all good to go, except they had this big paddle lock wrapped around it, so I had to carry it to the car. It was so heavy. stuffed it in the car, and then my sister says, she says, oh, I'm coming to pick it up, when I phoned to ask for the key for the lock, right? And then today she says, oh, go ahead, you know. So again, I went up to my sister Tracy's and I loaded that thing back in the car. And yeah, tonight she's working late, so tonight I'll pop over to her house and I'll do a late ride tonight, right? I've still got the bike in my car, so I'll run over there and grab the key. And yeah, so I got another bike, and yeah, I'll keep a good eye on it, right? Because yeah, they must be walking around with bolt cutters or something, and they must be doing it really, really quick too, right? So I'm happy to have a bike. Yeah, even though I lost the camcorder, lost the batteries, but you know, it's not anything that I can't live without, you know. But it was, you know, I could have used it. Oh well. So what's everybody's good cheer today? I see we have some people in. Say hi when you come in and let me know what's going on. You know, this week I've just been feeling really good. I'm actually doing really, really good on my diet, even though I see a little bit of space in between there. This is a top I actually saved. It's a Liz Claiborne top, and it was one of my favorite tops about 10 years ago, and then I got too big for it, right? But you know, it was such one of my favorite tops that, you know, I really liked it that I saved it. And then yesterday I pulled it out, and boy, I'm so happy. I'm actually in it. I'm over 40 pounds. I'm not quite sure. It might be 41, 42 pounds. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I'm doing really good on my diet. And I'm sticking to meat. And, you know, people were asking me, what am I doing on my diet, right? And, you know, I'm not really sticking to a diet. I'm eating when I'm feeling hungry, right? But I'm eating meat, and I'm eating vegetables, you know, and I don't really care about the starches and the carbs and stuff like that. Like, I'll eat peas and I'll eat beans, and, you know, I'll eat pickles. If it's a vegetable, I'll eat it. I won't eat corn. Corn would be way too many calories. But yeah, so I haven't been really strict that way. And as for meat, yeah, even there, I'll have no problem eating smokies or sausages, right? So I'll eat those kind of foods, even though I know that they mix those carbs in it, right? And then I eat lots of diet Jello. Like, I really like the diet Jello, and then I eat it with I like the lemon Jello, and then I use the lemon yogurt with it. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy it. Nobody's saying hi. Am I missing? Yeah, it took a while. Most people, they know that I start at 7 o'clock, and yeah, I really messed it up again. Yeah, I didn't realize I busted another. Well, I needed a new webcam anyway. I wanted one of those widescreen ones, and I notice here that my phone actually does much better with the wide angle than that little camcorder did, and the picture is much better too. Yeah. But there's a big delay. I notice. I'm trying not to look at the main screen because I can see there's like a 10-second delay in the main screen there. I'm just trying to keep my eye on the comments just in case I miss anything. So what is else up there? Yeah, and my great sisters, you know, like, yeah, I was worrying about a few bills there. Like, I've been having some really good luck, but I've been having some really poopy luck at the same time. It's just kind of a pretty good mixture. It's just kind of like, you know, it's nothing yet too much that I can't bear, but yeah, it's really interesting because it was my sister's birthday, and I was gonna go over to clean her house because they like to go gambling and stuff, right? But yeah, she said her house was clean and stuff, and she says, oh, come and hang out. And I says, well, I don't play. She was even willing to give me money to play and everything. And no, I'm not touching those machines. But I stood there and I watched her play and stuff and kept them company on their birthdays and stuff. And it was really nice to be out with my sisters, right? But she ended up winning a chunk of money, and I guess she had this deal because I don't play BLTs with them. They're called video lottery terminals. We were just talking about this on my Instagram the other night, and I didn't know they have this kind of deal. Whoever wins, they split the pot. so they split the pot with me, right? Because even though I was there that day, so I was able to pay a bill off with that money. So yeah, I was just so happy. It was just like, you wonder, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do this? And yeah, something always comes up, and you manage to scrape something together. That's usually the way my life goes, eh? Yeah, so what else is new today? I got a friend coming up, one of my main subscribers. I'm not sure if she's busy tonight, but usually she pops into the lives, but because my schedule is not right on my live this weekend, that maybe she thinks that I'm not going to be live. But yeah, one of my subscribers, we've been on this life improvement kick together, right? Trying to really work at moving forward and doing good things with our lives, and not just career wise, like finding, better positions, or starting small businesses on our own, or we were going to write a book together, but also on the inside, right? And especially, the past 6 months or so, it's just absolutely incredible. It's just like I've been a maniac, learning on it. But it's been so interesting, and what I've learned about myself. It's just like I said before. It's like that fairy tale, Hansel and Gretel, right? And there's little crumbs, and you just kind of follow the crumbs, right? And yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really having lots of fun with it. But at the same time, yeah, I'm worried about the little disasters that I expect to be coming up, and I shouldn't be expecting them, right? But yeah, it's my own fault for watching videos that are giving me pre-warnings on it. Yeah, so that's what I was doing there, and I was just looking at camping sites and everything. So she's coming up on the September 8th. She's going to be coming up and spending 2 weeks with me, right? So, I thought, I'll do the bedroom up like a little Airbnb, do it really nice with the chocolates on the pillows and everything, because I'll give her my room, right? Because I have a big comfy couch here that it gets sat in, like on Christmas Eve. It's like the only time anybody ever sits on that couch is like the one time a year that somebody comes to visit me. And actually, besides my ex-husband, I don't think anybody has actually stayed here for any length of time, any more than a couple of days, right? So this is going to be really interesting, and we've been communicating and emailing and getting to know each other online now for a couple of years, right? And yeah, I expected I was going to hear from her earlier today, right? And I should have emailed her, but I thought, yeah, we'll see. She'll probably email me in the next couple of days anyway, because I need to find out what her itinerary is, right? Like what time she's coming in, so I can pick her up at the airport and stuff. But what I was going to say about the camping, I wanted to take her camping, and we could still do it on Crown land, right? Like I know a couple of really good places that we could go, but the one place that I really wanted to go and I haven't been to this year is, is going to be closed for the season that exact same very day that she's arriving. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but yeah, so camping season for that camp spot, and it's a great distance away, right? But you can do fall camping all over the province. Like there's all kinds of fall camping. I think it goes right up to October 15th this year, or Thanksgiving. Yeah, you can camp right up until a lot. They're doing like a little trial to see how the people in this province are going to take to it, and I know for sure that they are going to take to it, because yeah, us Manitobans, we sure do love all seasons outdoors, right? Yeah, I love, and me too, right? I'm not technically from Manitoba, but this is home for me, right? Like I've lived here since 1980, and yeah, and I love this province, and I've not only participated in the province, right? Like, but I've actually studied the province, the history and its infrastructure, and it's conservation, like I take a great interest in it, eh? I'm not so much about the political part. I always try and stay like, when it gets political like that. I try to stay out of it. You know, you can't always. You gotta, you know, sometimes you're put in a position where you do have to take a side. But when it comes to politics, I figure that because I don't have an interest in it, right? That I would hate to make bad decisions, you know, like put my vote somewheres without having the right information. Something like that happened to me last week. Last week I was talking about women's liberation, right, and my views on that, right, and I wasn't completely well read on it. Like I have my own personal views on it, but you know, I would hate for anybody to think like I was talking like these things are facts or not. But no, that was my own personal views and my, you know, and also my own sort of kind of hopes, because you know I came from that generation where girls still grew up wanting to be housewives and staying at home and raising the kids and taking care of the home and, you know, the budgets and stuff, right? So, you know, even when I was in high school and stuff, you know, those, you know, I took those family courses. I think I think mostly because they were easy courses. I didn't like school very much, and I'm pretty certain that's what I did, right? I'm just gonna check here. I don't see. My God. Yeah, so I didn't like school very much, so I took those courses, but I still had to study, and I wasn't very good at that. I remember failing those ones, but they were, you know, I wasn't interested in school, and yeah, I skipped out of school quite a bit. That structure, right, in the school. No, it wasn't even the structure. I think it was probably more of how I felt I was being treated, or how invisible I felt in school. Yeah, I didn't like to be around all those kids at school and feeling, you know, their disdain or their pity, or, you know, because I was a fat kid, right? Like a little fat kid. And yeah, and I wasn't exactly a little fat kid. I was obese. I was, by the time I graduated high school, I was 200 pounds, right? So it was something else for me being in high school in those days too, because if you're from my generation, you would know it's not like the way kids are today, where, you know, most children have a little bit of pudge to them, right? You know, when I was growing up in high school, you know, there might have been only a couple people, you know, in the junior high that might have been having weight issues, right? Yeah. Physical ed was very important, and again, it wasn't the digital age. Nowadays the kids aren't getting the exercise that they should, right? Like they spend a lot of time on their phones and online and stuff there, and playing, I guess, video games or whatever they do now. They're just not getting the exercise, right? You know, like when you walk down, like I ride my bikes up and down the back lanes in the evening, right? And I like to look in the back lanes, and I think, hello, kitty, thank you. My favorite thing about living in Manitoba is the people, for sure. And I guess, you know, yeah, your grandparents, knowing your grandparents, and probably you knew what wonderful, caring, and I bet you they were very hardworking, because that's the thing about Manitobans, right? You depend on the person next door, because, you know, 100 years ago there was no water, no electricity, you know, there was no real transportation. Like when you walk to school, you could be walking up to 5 miles, you know, back and forth to school every single day, and it wasn't like there were snow plows to get the snow out of your way, right? Like you'd be walking to school with snowshoes and stuff, right? But what was I gonna say? The difficulty. So you depended on each other, right? So that's the thing about the Manitobans I like the best, is how we kind of take care of each other here, right? We've got each other's backs. You know, I remember when I was thinking of ideas for explore videos, and I remember thinking of this idea of in the middle of the winter, like 40 or minus 50 below zero in a big blizzard, being out on the highway, right? And then just stop on the highway, lift my front hood, and then time it, how long it would take for anybody to stop to ask if I needed assistance. And you know what? I bet you it would be as fast as me turning on the camera. That would be how fast somebody would jump out of the car. And numerous, because, you know, if one person jumps out of the car, yeah, it's much faster if everybody does it. And yeah, you probably have 6 cars all stop at the same time, all jump out and all push you out of the ditch or wherever you're stuck, right? But yeah, I thought it would be funny, right? Just to, well, it wouldn't be funny. It would probably in the middle of a storm, people would be pleased with me, you know, doing this test, right? But it would be interesting because I know, you know, Manitobans are just amazing. And then again, I do the fall suppers, right? And so you get that sense of community when you do the fall suppers. And, you know, and I go from town to town all across Manitoba, and hopefully I get a few more in, you know, this fall. And I did some really nice ones last year, and boy, did they ever have some nice dessert tables too. But yeah, and actually I have a couple of fall suppers I never even uploaded. Like they're from last year. I'm sure nobody's interested, but I did some fall suppers. I usually film whatever, right? Like all my, but then I have to figure out what's appropriate for my channels, and you know what I'm just keeping as documenting as my journey, right? You know, my explore videos, because of my financial situation, I haven't had a chance to get out on the road, right? And I've had this incessant need to learn, right? Like I'm really, Sharon's here. Sharon, we were just saying that I'm gonna need your itineraries, so I know your timings, what time to be at the airport and stuff to pick you up. Yeah. If anybody wants to meet me, then you'll be able to know when I'll be up at the airport picking up Sharon. Yeah, September 8th. 2 weeks. We're gonna have so much fun. I was also saying, Sharon. Oh, and Owen's here too. Awesome. Hi, Owen. Yeah. So we'll see who else pops in now. Yeah, it's a little bit late. A little bit late tonight. I don't know if you got notifications on my last lives. I tried to do a couple of lives, and yeah, my camcorder was shaking and everything. So I just gave up on using, oh, not my camcorder, my webcam. So I gave up. I think I dropped it one too many times and I broke it. So I'm using my phone tonight. Yeah, like I said, I've got lots of good luck going on right now, and at the same time, I've got lots of bad luck going on at the same time too. But okay, Sharon. So what I was gonna say is about the camping. Do you know that camping season is over on the exact day you're coming into town? Yeah. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Like, we can do Crown Land, and we can go out to Race Land and stuff too. But it sure would be nice to have a lake. Oh, I know somewhere's really, really good that we can go camping. Yeah, so I can plan it too. Oh, and it won't cost us anything either. Even, we're like budget holiday, but I'm gonna make it spectacular. It'll be like a spectacular. I'll be an awesome host when you come out to visit. Yeah, so this is Sharon. This is the lady who's gonna be coming to visit me next month. Yeah, pretty excited about that. So what are you guys up to today? How's the weather in your neck of town? Today it was really, really hot today. I'm so thankful for my sister buying me that little air conditioner for my window. It just works perfect. It doesn't quite reach the bedroom, but you know, if I leave the windows and the doors closed, yeah. Oh, we're gonna be doing good. Oh, we're gonna have so much fun, Sharon. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to your visit too. Yeah, get to know you even better, right? Yeah, this is a long time coming. Yeah, and this is actually going to be her first time up in Canada too, right? So yeah, maybe we can find you a cowboy hat to take home. Oh no, you guys got lots of cowboys down south too. You got more cowboys here in Manitoba. The cowboy provinces are Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, right? Alberta, I think more than any of them, only because they have like the Calgary Stampede there. Oh, and listen to this. Aim, I don't know, he's Belgium, right? Exploring in Me. I don't know if any of you watch his videos. He's like, in my opinion, I think he is the exploring of Josh of Europe, right? He's such a sweet guy, and he does amazing. He finds spectacular explorers, right? But yeah, we've been emailing each other for the past couple of weeks, and yeah, he's gonna be in Toronto on the 15th for 2 weeks. He's spending there on the 29th. Yeah, so it's an expensive. So even though it's the next province over, right? Manitoba is so big, you could probably fit 2 or 3 states at least in our province, and probably 4 or 5 of those little European countries in our province. So it's really, really quite large, our provinces here, right? So even though we're in the next province over, it would still take me 25 hours to drive there, right? You know, if he wanted to explore, or, you know, just to visit with us and stuff, right? And it would cost him an extra $400, you know, to $200 here and $200 home or back to Toronto before he could catch his flight to go back to Europe. And yeah, again, the financial situation, right? Like if I have money to blow, yeah, I've got somewheres that I need to blow it there. Yeah, so it's all about priorities with me. Yeah, so I'm trying right now to start bringing that income in a little bit better into my household. I'm also doing a lot more learning, like in-depth learning, like not like I would sure like to be a life coach, you know what I mean? Like there should be people from our generation online, right? And I've got an interest in, because I you know, my YouTube channel, I like to be heard. I'm yapping away here, not paying attention to the comments. Who else is here? But you know, so I'm thinking I would like to expand on that, and you know, and there's only so much you can do with free videos, right? So I've been just trying to do it budget, right? Because I don't have the money to, you know, for teachers and coaches and mentors, and you know, to go to seminars and conferences and stuff. So I'm just trying to absorb as much as I can from these people that I admire online, and you know, just try and do it on a budget. But it's not moving me forward in being self-sufficient in supporting myself. And I've come to the conclusion, like, yeah, me getting a regular 9-to-5 job or something, that's just not gonna work for me, knowing that I'm an empath, you know, I can see now why, you know, why in the past 5 years that I've had difficulties, you know, really, because I believe like all these changes in me and stuff actually started when my mother passed away, and that was about 5 years ago now. So I think this has been an ongoing changes for me since then, and yeah, it's time that I need to figure out a way that I can work and bring in an income for myself, and it's really important that I focus on that right now. So that's what I've been doing really, really hard. So, you know, even though I'm not spending my money on those explorers and stuff, right? I do have some coming up, because Ray's taking me out. He's actually gonna hopefully take me out next week, but again, you know, I have to take my priorities, right? And yeah, you know, I'm getting old. If I got some dreams to fulfill, yeah, I've got to work hard on them, right? And I really have. I've made some huge improvements in my life, even though, you know, you don't see it. It's, you know, it's going to hit me all at once. I'm sure of it. So yeah, that's all my good shares. So what everybody else up to? I was in Montreal and Quebec once, but only stayed in the airport. I think I was, oh, I know where we go. I was taking a flight. I was picking up one of those little airplanes. I was jumping into one of those to go to New Brunswick, right? When me and my husband, we got engaged, we actually went out to visit his family and everything so he could introduce me. And yeah, I actually got to see the Maritimes, the East Coast. Oh, just amazing. I found it was so much different than the West Coast, though. The East Coast had such a like a hard feel to it, like the rocks and the dark, and like in the movies, right? You know, where as on the West Coast it was all nice and warm and sandy beaches and drifts and stuff. Yeah, so it's a really big difference between the two coasts. But I sure love those provinces. Oh, and especially Prince Edward Island. Oh my gosh, when we took the ferry over to Prince Edward Island and I saw all that red dirt, the whole island, it was just like copper color, right? Because of the potato fields, the iodine. I think it was the iodine, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was the iodine in the soil. Maybe somebody out there knows better than me, but it made the soil red, like a copper color. And when you came up from the ferries, I just loved the Maritimes, except they put on an engagement party for us, right? His family, I think his cousins or aunts or uncles or something, put on an engagement party. And I was the only one who spoke English. They did hello and thank you, like those simple words, but they didn't speak English. I was so surprised that they didn't speak English in Canada. I mean, I don't know why I am surprised. I mean, it's a bilingual country and it should be equal English to equal French, even though I myself don't speak French at all. So I shouldn't find it odd to go to a province that has a high majority of French speaking people in it, that I would find people that didn't speak English at all. They were lovely people, and they were, they treated us so well. I just loved them to death. But yeah, it was hard to communicate, right? But and again, it was surprising. But that's the kind of stuff I like, right? You know, like I find that stuff interesting because I didn't know, you know, like there were actually communities in Canada that didn't speak English. I didn't, like maybe the northern, right, where they speak the, you know, the languages of the northern people up there, right, and the indigenous, but yeah, you know, for the rest of Canada, I was very surprised. You know, we have French communities here, like we have St. Boniface here in Winnipeg, right, just on the other side of the river, and yeah, it's a French community, but again, it's bilingual, right? Like when you see the restaurants and stuff, like, you know, you'll have the French and then you'll have the English, right? Yeah, so I found it interesting, but again, yes, I really love the East Coast. Yeah, those churches, yes. And actually, I was actually thinking of that today because I'm making my little itinerary, you know, for when Sharon comes to visit. I was thinking, oh, it would be really nice that if we can, you know, have a whole day. It would take a whole day. We'd have to leave early in the morning, and we'd probably not get back until 10 o'clock at night because we'd have to go a great distance. But then she could see all the beautiful Ukrainian churches up by Dauphin, because it's a 6-hour drive, and once we dilly-dally and stuff, it's probably 8, so it's probably 16-hour day, right? You know, all in all. But boy, how much fun would that be? Yeah. And then she could see those churches. And then I was actually thinking of, you know, I would take her down to see the train station. If you knew my videos and you saw the train station video, and if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's an amazing video. Yeah, one of our very first railways here in Manitoba, and yeah, it's barely standing, but it's still standing. I think it would only take a couple of rains and wood would be so soggy that it will just cave in on itself. I don't think it's going to last another year. I really don't. It was pretty rough the last time I saw it. Very, very, very hot and humid here in Manitoba today. Yeah, very hot and humid. I went out this morning. This afternoon. My sister went out partying a little bit last night, and yeah, she had one too many cocktails, and she's a diabetic, right? So yeah, she's paying for it today, but she's got tomorrow off. Tomorrow's a holiday here, and it's a civic holiday, but yeah, so everybody will just be off at the beaches and stuff. Oh yes, we have beaches. Actually, we have one of Canada's largest lakes here in Manitoba, and it's actually Lake Winnipeg. It's one of my favorite beaches. Winnipeg Beach is the one that I like to go to in the summer times, right? And it's a close drive. It's less than an hour there, and I think it's 24,000 square kilometers. It's huge. Yes, yeah, lots of fishermen on that lake, and yeah, it's a big lake. It's yeah. You would think you were at the ocean if you were on the beach edge. You would think you were at the ocean. You wouldn't see any land anywheres around, and those big ships that are on that lake. Yeah, so you can imagine how big it is. Yes, we'll definitely go to Winnipeg Beach too, Sharon. Are you getting excited, Sharon, about the trip? Yeah, I'm excited about her coming in. It's really hot. Yeah, you can really feel the humidity. Like even now the windows are closed, the air conditioner is full blast, but yeah, just opening up the door once and the place just gets really, really humid. I'm so happy I'm going to get a bike tonight. Yeah, well, I gotta go get the lock, and I've got the bike already. I just gotta get that lock off of it so I can ride it, and I'll go for a nice bike ride tonight. The mosquitoes are so bad. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll do some videos, and you'll have to go on my live. You won't have a choice. But you're pretty used to our crew now anyway, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to meeting you. And then also, Sharon, then maybe me and you, because we could take that drive to go see Karen, right? You know, Karen, who joins us on our lives all the time, and I keep meaning she's wanting to start a YouTube channel, and I keep promising her that I would get out there, but it's another drive, and you know, I'm trying to save a little bit of money and get a little stockpile of cash so that we can get some things going on. And yeah, so maybe we'll save that trip, and we'll go out there and we'll visit her together. You'll love that drive. Oh, we're gonna do so much driving, Sharon. You're just gonna love it here. I hope you love it. Yeah, pretty funny. Yeah, Karen is absolutely lovely, and she's had such a hard time, right? Yeah, lots of good mojo off to Karen. She's had a like, you know, at first she was gonna, you know, I was coming out to see her, but then she had to cancel, and then we were gonna meet up again, but then I had to cancel because I didn't have the gas to drive out there, and then, you know, since then I said, you know, if you come into town, like, you know, I make an awesome coffee. Wait till you taste Canadian coffee, Sharon. Yeah, you'll have me mailing you down bags of coffee all the time. Yeah, you know, because even though it's Tim Hortons, I found that even the Tim Hortons coffee when I was in the States, it doesn't taste the same. It's different, right? Even the McDonald's, if I take you to McDonald's, when you're here, you're going to notice that the McDonald's is different, right? Like you have different sandwiches here. Like you still have like the Big Mac and the Quarter Pounder, but they look different. The buns are different. The packaging is different. Yeah, you're gonna be really, really surprised when you meet up with the McDonald's. Yeah. I actually, when I was went to Minneapolis, and I tried to get a good coffee. I was all over the place. I went to coffee shops. I tried, because I like McDonald's coffee too, but yeah, I just could not get a good cup of coffee no matter where I was. And yeah, one of the gentlemen that I follow, the guy, Evan Carmichael, who had his workshop down in Minneapolis, that I went down to see, and I felt so bad for him that I sent him a bag of coffee off to Detroit, but I don't think he got it. I think it got there a day late because they sent me a notification. So I don't think he even got it. I'd be curious to know if he got that bag of coffee or not. But yeah, they charged me almost $30 to send like a $7 bag of coffee to Detroit. Yeah, yeah. And I pre-warned the people at the front desk too that bag of coffee was coming. That's how come I know that it came the next day after the workshop. Yeah. And I got you the green tea too. Yeah. I like green tea when I'm doing healthy things, and because of this diet, I guess I'm doing healthy things, right? So and I've been listening to good things about green tea. I can't remember. I was reading something about it last. I'm right on a health kick. I've been just reading up on all kinds, not just physical health, but emotional health and psychological health, and yeah, a little bit of spirituality. I've never been a religious person in my life, right? Like, I have my own values, right? And I believe that there's a higher God. Like, there's definitely, but yeah, for like a structured religion, like a Catholic or Muslim or Hebrew, or like I've never been that way, right? And yeah, so I've been studying, all the way across the board here on different types of religions in different parts of the country and stuff, and I'm finding that really interesting too. And not only those kind of religions, but religions that I've never even heard of. Things that people, study and follow, and I've never even heard of them. Really interesting things too, and some very odd ones too. But yeah, I'll let you know if that aspect of me changes at any time. But I'm sure you'll all notice instantly. Yeah, the past couple of days I've been feeling a little bit more energized. I'm actually feeling bored, and I'm feeling like I'm wanting to yeah, I gotta I gotta figure things out. I don't know. I've never had any problem in my entire, I always hear about, oh, coffee makes you jittery and stuff. Like, I've never ever in my entire life had bad nerves. Now, there have been, I'm sure, times when I get a little shaky, because I've gotten a scary moment. My husband liked to do that to me, like scare me when I was in the shower, or, I would be parking the car in the garage, and he'd jump out behind the door in the darkness, and oh yeah, he liked to come up behind me, but and then you have a shake for a few minutes until you calm down. But yeah, for drinking coffee, I could drink coffee, and I do drink coffee right till I go to bed, right? Yeah, we're only gonna go till 9 o'clock tonight, because I started late at 8 o'clock tonight. We're gonna only go till 9 o'clock tonight, because I still have to run over to my sister's and grab the key to the lock for my bike, and I do have to get a bike ride in today, because I've got absolutely no exercise in. Yeah, and I was looking at dancing, right? Like, I thought, oh, I could maybe pull videos up and learn to do dancing, right? Through videos, because, I'm an artist, right? And though I don't do a lot of these things, and I'm not very good at some of these things. In my mind's eye, I see it, right? In my mind's eye, I can see beautiful dancing and appreciate somebody that just is spectacular and does a perfect job when they're doing their art, right? To me, that is art, right? You know, same with singers and stuff like that. I can't sing worth nothing, right? But boy, do I love to watch singers, and I can know a good singer from a bad singer. You know, I used to watch those American Idols and all those singing shows and stuff. And I was used to be right into reality TV. There was a point even when I wanted to be on Big Brother Canada, and actually sent in an application. What do you call that? An audition video I did so that I could get onto the show. I didn't get onto the show, obviously, but that's what started me on YouTube, right? Because you had to do an audition video, and it was the first time I had done a video, and I found it to be so much fun, and I thought I was a master at it because nobody else knew how to do videos with their phones, and I did. That I said, oh, I'm going to be a videographer, right? Because, you know, you watch the YouTube and say, oh, you could start a YouTube channel with your own phone. So I got a phone, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And that's exactly what I did. I just picked up the phone. And because I used to go for country drives, like all the time, like I was out every week, sometimes a couple of times a week, like you know, on my days off from work and stuff. That's how I like to spend my time, is just to, because I would work so hard during the week, and then I would have to wait for me to unwind, would be to go off on my country drives and be off on my own out in nature, right? Because it was the nature that rejuvenated me and would, you know, I don't know, it just grounded me being out in the woods by myself. And it wasn't even like it wouldn't be the same if I went out to the woods with other people. It would still be good, but it wouldn't be as good as me going off by myself, right? And yeah, I don't know where I was going off on there. Oh, my sister Alice is here. Alice gave me the bike to borrow. I'm coming over, Alice, right after the live. Were you here when you said that I'm just gonna go till 9 o'clock, and then I'll pop over and grab the key for the bike? Wasn't that kind of my sister? Yeah, she's my I have the most amazing sisters ever. And Alice is the jet setter sister. She's the one who likes to go traveling, and she actually said that on her next trip, yeah, if I could put the cash together, that I could go on it. She goes to these exotic places, right? She goes to Mexico and Cancun and Chile, and is it Chile? Cuba. Yeah, she goes to all these neat places, and I've never been anywhere. And actually, Sharon, I remember when you emailed me, you mentioned that your dream was to go to Scotland. That was one of my dreams. I used to have a big map as a teenager. I had a big map that covered my entire side of one of my walls in my bedroom, and it was a big map of Scotland, and I used to take thumbtacks and I would put them in all the places that I wanted to travel. I wanted to do the backpack. Now, getting older now, I think that I think now that I'm getting older, that I would probably just rent a car, but I would still like to do camping. I'm sure in those countries they still have camping, right? It might not be like natural like they have here in Canada, where they have like actual wilderness, but I'm sure there are nice spots that you can go off on your own and not be around people over there. I don't know if any of my viewers here tonight are from Europe, but I would be curious to know. I do know that they have ancient trails that you can go on a trail, and this trail will pass through farms and towns and everything. But these trails would have been used for thousands of years, going all the way back to like the Romans and stuff, right? And it's the law that even though the land is owned by a farmer or something, if that trail runs through his farm, that people can use it, right? And people actually travel Europe by using these old ancient paths, right? So I thought it would be interesting to do. I used to watch, Steve, I haven't seen him forever. He was such a sweetheart. He was a abandoned UK, and he was doing abandoned videos. And that's the thing, when you do abandoned you have to eventually expand off into something else if you want to succeed on YouTube, because how many abandons are there out in the world? If you start a YouTube channel, you want to make sure that you're able to sustain your channel, right? So you want to make sure that you always have content. And because, you know, your content should be related, right? You know, with me, I tie in my explore videos and my adventure videos because it's all outdoors, right? But now my expansion has gone into, you know, mindset, right? And the spirituality and entrepreneurship, and you know, it's like the world is so huge, thought leader, like there's so many interesting things that I want to try and I want to do and I want to see, and I just feel like, you know, YouTube, it's like my candy store, right? You know, because even though I can't physically right now go and visit all these places, I can visit them on YouTube and I can visit them on Google, you know, like all you have to do is ask a question or use some keywords and you can go off and do whatever you want. Oh, which reminds me actually too, is one of my dreams was, I don't know if anybody saw the Google Earth, the pack that people wear, you know, when they do the trails. You can actually, like in parks and stuff, where you can start off on the trail and you can actually walk the trails and stuff on your own, right? And how it's done is somebody wears a great big camera pack. It's like a backpack, and you wear it on your back, and the camera comes up over your head. And then wherever you walk, because it has a 360-degree camera on it, wherever you walk, the camera films, right? So I always wanted to do one of those Google Earth, you know, oh, what's the name? Google Earth walks, right? But I always wanted to wear that pack and then maybe go out to Nopaming, right, and do some of those trails in Nopaming Park. I just think Nopaming is just one of the most beautiful parks in all of Manitoba. But because it's, you know, a good 3 hours away, it's a good distance. While Black Lake, where I go to, is 3 hours away, so it's over 2 hours away. That a lot of people, they don't think to go, you know, to visit that area, but you would be absolutely dazzled and amazed at the beauty and the natural wilderness and the solitude out in that direction. So if you ever come to Manitoba, Nopaming Park is somewhere where you want to see. You can go see the swamps and the marshes and the hills and the valleys and it's all rock cliffs, right? Like Nopaming was actually a mountain as high as the Rocky Mountains at one time. It was one of the biggest mountains in North America, I think, and actually trailed all the way down into the States. But you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, when the glaciers receded, you know, the glaciers actually ground all the mountains and all the rock right down, right, as it was receding, as it melted, and that's what happened to this mountain. So when you go there, like, it still has trees and stuff, but it took hundreds of thousands of years for, you know, seeds to go there and then rot a little bit, and, you know, something to blow dirt into the area, and it grows a little, and then finally a little bud of a tree can grow, and then maybe it can grow a couple of feet high, and then it dies and it becomes compost, and then hundreds of thousands of years later, there's maybe this much soil all over the rocks in this whole area, and yet you've got great big birch trees, elm trees, yeah, all kinds of woodland out there, but the soil is very, very shallow, right? So it's a lot of roots and stuff above ground too. So when you're hiking and trailing, you have to be careful of the roots, right? Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't posted in a while. I heard he actually lost quite a bit of weight. But yeah, like I said, you know, urban exploring, you know, he had a good thing going on, but he also had, you know, a little problem like I had going on, is trying to be a good person, you know, and not doing those B&Es and being places where you're not supposed to be and stuff, you know. And when you have a conscience like that, it hurts a little bit, right? Because, you know, then you're giving up locations because you know it's not right for you to be there, right? And then in the end, your channel suffers for it unless you can expand your interests and expand your topics on those channels, right? So it's really important when you do YouTube that you make sure that you're picking a content for your channel that you can expand on and that you will indefinitely be able to build topic on, right? And urban exploration is not one of those topics that will be able to every building. And now actually now what they're doing is they're doing tag teams in Europe, you know, where it's the same building, but you've got like 30 or 40 different explorers giving their versions of that one explorer, right? So it's kind of become like a sport, right? I remember Josh from Exploring It with Josh saying that. But out of the explorers in Europe, exploring Eam from Exploring and Me is, yeah, just a sweetheart. And he always does really, really good explorers, eh? Yeah. And I had the chance to see him this month coming up at the end of the month. He's coming to Canada, and yeah, he says let's get together, but yeah, it's too far. I can't. That's an expensive trip, and I'm going to make that trip and spend that money. It's going to be for something that's going to move me forward, right? And unfortunately, yeah. So like I said, I gotta make the priorities my goals. So unfortunately not this one, but you know what? We might get that opportunity down the road somewheres, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice guy too, right? That's the thing about him. He actually thought my niece was just a sweetie, and he was actually texting my niece there, I think, for a couple of days. Yeah. So I thought that was neat. I said, oh, okay, well, you know, have at her. And then my niece was actually in Toronto. Like everybody's going to Toronto. My niece was in Toronto with her girlfriends, and they planned this trip, and they rented an Airbnb for a week, and they had a really nice trip. And now my sister's going next Monday to Toronto, and she's going with a girlfriend who's having an operation there for a few days, so she's going there. Yeah, me next. But anyway, I am gonna call it an end tonight. It's just a nice little short live. If you like my lives, give me a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated, because right now I'm just doing my lives, right? I'm saving my money for my goals and keeping my household going so that I can, you know, take this channel somewheres, right? I still want to be present, and I love you guys, and I'm so happy you guys are sticking it out with me while I'm figuring this all out. Everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you next week, I think. Have a great night. Bye-bye. And that's the end of that.